boot camp, which was up in New York State. It's called Sampson, New York. Sampson was the
What's
name
that
of the
near?
boot camp. Way up.
Like in the Catskills or way up
Oh
near
no,
like
it's
Plattsburgh?
up more near Plattsburgh. Yeah,
Okay.
it's near where Jim put in the silos.
Okay.
Jim, it's in there. It was an Air Force base or something else later on, but it was boot camp then. And I went to boot camp, but when I enlisted, they put me in what they call a V6 program, Victory plus 6. So after the war, 6 months you were out. That's what that turned out. I didn't know what V6 meant when I went in. I thought it was an honor or something. V6, it sounds pretty good. What was that? After victory, you had 6 months.
6 months and then you're free.
Then you're out. So I was assigned to an aircraft carrier, and I went on to all different schools. Like, we did the shakedown cruise. I went to be a do the
Communications?
yeah,
like
type things.
Telegraphs.
And the sound in my ear was all the same. I couldn't differentiate between the dots and the dashes. So that didn't work out. So I went to fire and damage control school and a bunch of different ones. And then I ended up in Washington, D.C., which was great. And I worked on, wasn't it a dressograph? Was a dressograph.
Okay. The little plates?
Yeah, plates, and I did the machine that printed out thousands and thousands of addresses and names on a thing. They had files, I guess, you know. And then, what did I have? I didn't have a long time in 15, 16 months, something like that. And the chief came over and he said, "Leo, you live in Brooklyn, right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You want to go to IBM school in New York?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said,
Or Monk.
The Navy is changing over to the IBM system, right? So if you want to go, but you have to sign up for 4 years. I said, "No." But as it worked out, like we discussed, I would have never met Louise because I went to the gas company. Then I met Louise, and the whole life would have been changed.
That's
you know?
right. Life is fun.
So as
the way
it worked
works
out, yeah. But that was my Navy experience. Two weeks
V6 and out.
on a light cruiser, and that was it.
So when you joined, Korean War was still going on? Or had it not started yet?
No, World War II.
It was the end of World War II.
Yeah, it was the end of World War II. It was 45.
Okay.
Yeah. I was sworn in on May 8th. I think it was VE Day.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I was home on boot leave in August 7th, VJ Day.
It's almost over.
It was at the end. It was over. And then from then on, they built the carrier in Brooklyn, Kearsarge. They built it in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, actually, or they finished it in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. But it wasn't ready yet. But I was assigned to it. There were 3,200 guys. And we all were going to different schools in Boston, Newport, Rhode Island, Boston, then Washington, D.C. But all schools, all training. But
for nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah. Well, they had to keep you busy.
Yeah.
To get you 6 months and then out.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Otto, I don't know who the other guy's name was, but Otto Tinsdale was one of them, and he said, didn't have a car. He said, "I have a car, but it's a 29 Chevy." But he says, it's in good shape.
And what year was this around?
I went to the gas company in 46 or 47. It was in that time.
Yeah.
Maybe 48, something like that. and the thing ran beautiful. It was.
So it's a 20-year-old car back then, yeah.
Yeah,
At
and
least.
it ran good. This guy was, anything goes wrong, hey Otto, this is wrong, I need to fix it. Well, when I learned to drive, I had it in Helen. Helen had a house in Canarsie, which was near the gas company. So I left it in her yard, and on my lunch hour, you go around and drive around the yard with it, because I didn't know how to drive, right? So finally I got my license, and we had that car, and then we got rid of that, and we got a, this was worse, this one. Never even heard of this one. It had lamps on the side windows, like, they were only decorative, but at this time, but they were just like the old stagecoach.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A whippet. A whippet?
That was the car?
Whippet.
Yeah,
Yeah. And people used to stop, take pictures, and you were a baby on Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue, down Fifth Avenue.
In Brooklyn.
Into the shopping.
Yeah.
And they would stop me and ask me all about this damn car. It was a whippet. A whippet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the hell the name of it.
Was that older than the other one?
Yeah, I think it was the same year, but it was
29. A lot of people don't realize there were a lot of different car companies back years ago.
Yeah.
You know. I wonder
But
if
then when I don't know whether it was a whippet or the other one, I sold to a gas station, and he used it when they had to push cars, as a push or a tow car.
Yeah.
The engine was strong as could be in the damn thing.
So what did you get after the whippet?
Oh, I went big time after the whippet. I think I went to a 40 Pontiac.
Wow.
Yeah.
My dad liked Pontiacs. He always seemed to get Pontiac wagons.
That's the one. You were a baby, Mary, and we're in Connecticut. And we're going down a hill. Louise and me, and she's in the whatever. I don't know what the hell she was in. But I say, "Hi, old Silver," right? And I'm down this big hill, and then the bubble came behind me.
Uh-oh.
He didn't give me a ticket though.
Took pity on you with the kids.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wow. Good story.
So you want to see Jen first, or do you want to